There's a strange piece of forgotten technology buried in the history of the Cold War, a tool so quietly effective that the soldiers who used it rarely talked about it, and the armies that developed it quietly retired it once its purpose was no longer required. It wasn't a weapon or armor or a radio. It was something much simpler, a stove, a compact stainless steel cylinder that could fit in a backpack, barely larger than a thermos. And yet, for covert units operating in the freezing forests and mountains of Europe and Asia, this tiny object was just as important as any firearm. Because this stove didn't just heat food, it erased the evidence that the person using it even existed. To understand why this mattered, you have to imagine the reality of Cold War field operations. Unlike the large-scale battles of earlier wars, much of the Cold War was fought by small, invisible teams. Recon units sometimes stayed hidden for days or weeks at a time, gathering intelligence, tracking movements, or silently passing through enemy-controlled terrain. These teams lived inside an environment where the smallest error, the snap of a branch, the glint of metal, the faint scent of soup in the air, could unravel an entire mission. Soldiers learned quickly that human presence doesn't just reveal itself through movement, it reveals itself through the senses: light, heat, sound, and most surprisingly, smell. The smell of cooking became one of the most dangerous signatures a person could produce. In cold, dense night air, a single warm scent can travel hundreds of meters. Soldiers wrote in their field journals that they could smell an enemy camp long before they could see it, sometimes detecting food from half a kilometer away. That meant the moment a scout boiled water or heated rations, his position became a beacon. This problem wasn't new. For centuries, armies struggled to conceal campfires, but the Cold War was different. Entire missions depended on remaining undetected, sometimes within 100 meters of enemy patrol routes. Traditional solutions, burying the fire, using smokeless fuel, shielding a flame, weren't enough. Even odorless fuel still produced food smell. Even a small flame produced a small glow. So engineers were given an impossible challenge: create a stove that provides heat but produces no flame, no smoke, and almost no scent. The breakthrough came from studying industrial furnaces and laboratory incinerators. The key idea was something called dual-stage combustion, making fire burn twice. The first burn created heat from the fuel block. The second burn reburned the fumes. If everything was contained inside a sealed chamber, the second burn would destroy almost all particles responsible for smell. What escaped the stove would be mostly clean, hot air. This concept had never been used in a field stove before. It was too complex, too specialized, and far too expensive for civilian camping markets. But military labs began miniaturizing the system. They created insulated chambers, narrow oxygen channels, and heat recirculation loops that kept the stove burning at extremely high temperatures without producing visible flame. Soldiers who tested the early prototypes said the stove looked dead until you touched it because all the heat stayed inside. Field manuals described it simply as low-signature equipment, but soldiers eventually gave it nicknames like Ghost Stove or the Whisper Cooker because it did something almost magical. It let you make hot food without leaving a trace, but using the stove required discipline. You couldn't throw a slab of meat on it and expect it to stay invisible. Cooking had to be adapted. Scouts used a system where food was heated inside sealed tins, metal cups with locking lids, or small pressure canisters. Water was added cold, rations were rehydrated slowly, and nothing was allowed to boil openly. This turned the stove into a miniature pressure cooker. It didn't produce aroma because the container never released steam. When the meal was ready, soldiers would crack the lid open only slightly and only when the wind direction was safe. Scent discipline became a survival skill. A typical soldier's meal might look like a grayish, nutrient-dense broth or a thick paste made of electrolytes, starch, and protein powder. Not appetizing, but warm and safe. Veterans later said that these meals tasted like nothing, and that was the point. Nothing cannot betray you. The stove's other advantage was stealth against detection technology. By the 1960s and 70s, militaries had begun using early infrared scanners to spot warm bodies or campfires in the field. A normal stove would show up as a bright hotspot, but the ghost stove was different. Its design trapped most heat inside the chamber, releasing only a faint, diffused warmth. When soldiers dug a small pit and placed the stove inside, the ground absorbed the signature. Snow concealed it even more effectively. Helicopters, scanning from above, often saw nothing but cold terrain. Elite Arctic units took this to extremes. They would bury the stove under 2 layers of snow and use it to heat their rations from beneath. In these conditions, the stove didn't just hide scent, it hid heat. It became a survival tool uniquely suited for covert operations in frozen environments where a normal fire could get you spotted instantly. There were stories, some verified, some more myth than fact, of reconnaissance teams cooking meals while enemy patrols passed less than 100 meters away. The soldiers, half frozen and half starved, waited in silence as bootsteps crunched through the snow just beyond the tree line. And the patrol smelled nothing. Yet despite its brilliance, the stove never became widely known. Only small units received them. They were expensive to manufacture, slow to produce, and too specialized for general army use. When modern gas canisters and lightweight burners became cheap and widely available, militaries stopped ordering the ghost stove. The world moved on. Faster fuel, easier cooking, more convenience. But in losing them, something else was lost, a survival technology built on invisibility. For modern survivalists, hikers, or emergency preppers, the idea of cooking without scent seems almost unnecessary. But there are situations in the wild, during natural disasters, in dangerous environments, or while avoiding wildlife, where being invisible can save lives. Bears and wolves can pick up food sent from over a kilometer away. Dangerous criminals escaping into wilderness regions have been caught because authorities smelled cooking on the wind. Even in modern conflict zones, people displaced by war often need to stay hidden while preparing food. The principles behind the Cold War ghost stove offer solutions. The idea that fire doesn't need to be bright, heat doesn't need to escape, food doesn't need to smell. Survival doesn't always depend on strength. Sometimes it depends on disappearing. When you look at this forgotten stove today, it represents more than a tool. It represents a mindset, a way of thinking built on precision, discipline, and understanding how nature exposes you. In the wilderness, you're never truly alone. Animals smell you, terrain reveals you, heat radiates from you. But the soldiers who carried this stove learned that survival means controlling these signals, hiding not just your body, but every trace you leave behind. Most people think survival means making fire. Cold War scouts learned that sometimes survival means hiding it.